Now here he is, he's back from the four corners of the globe. Here's Molly.
Okay, thanks, Gavin. Well, it's great to be back, I must say. Had a great time overseas, and I tell you what, there's been some... I've got some really hot gossip over the next couple of weeks to tell you. Just wait for the interviews to come up, especially the one in about 2 or 3 weeks' time with George and Marilyn. Now, that is something to really watch out for. I tell you what, there's been a lot of chart activity in England. That, I mean, just every week, the charts just seem to alter like that. And I come back here and I find the same thing here. It's great to see such a healthy chart, and one that is absolutely guaranteed of just going into the charts like that would have to be Austen Tayshus. Now, it's not Austen Tayshus like we saw him in Australiana. It's Austen Tayshus in a very, very weird situation. I knew it would go to his head. He now thinks he's the Phantom, believe it or not. So here is Austen Tayshus with, it's sure to be a surefire hit, Austen Tayshus with, believe it or not, the Phantom Rap.
He's the Phantom, makes the jungle jive.
So I came to the city looking for some action. Said my name's Phantom, I'm the main attraction. People said get lost, you pebble-suited mother. We got enough widows, we don't need another. Fighting crime and corruption is what I do. People said that's fine, but what's in it for you? Nothing, I guess, I'm just a swell guy. Oh yeah, sure, and pygmies can fly.
Well, not only is he a very, very cool guy, but I tell you what, that one is absolutely destined. That wasn't the Friends from the Ends with the Bang, was it? Sorry about that. No, that is destined to go to #1. Talking about #1s, let's have a look at the US Top 5 for this week. All right, here we go. At number 5, there he is, the boy himself, Prince and the Revolution. Wait till you see him in concert. He's coming out next year with Let's Go Crazy. At number 4, Madonna with Lucky Star. Watch out for her new single called Like a Virgin. That's it, Like a Virgin. That's also the name of the album. Chicago, written by Steve Kipner, an Australian who also wrote Physical, Hard Habit to Break. He's a great songwriter, young Steve. At number 2, this song has got to break in Australia. It is just, I love it. It's Billy Ocean with Caribbean Queen. And Stevie Wonder with one which would just have to be one of the best ballads for 1984, I Just Called to Say I Love You. And I'd like to dedicate that one to Joy. All right, so listen...
Joy?
Joy, Gavin, yes, Joy.
Did you have a lot of joy when you're overseas?
Jump for joy, Gavin, thank you very much, and let's drop the subject right now. Now, listen, over on the English scene...
But is he getting married?
Will he shut up? Over on the English scene, it's like Gavin and I having a go at each other, you know, pulling the nails out. There's a lot of nails coming out at the moment, and there's a lot of weird and wonderful wigs. They're all colours. They're iridescent blue, there is an iridescent orange, you name it, the colour, they're wearing them. And the reason is, it's all because of Boy George. In fact, I got a bit of a shock when I saw Boy George this time, and I got even more of a shock when out of the car came Marilyn as well. They're great buddies again, believe it or not, and over the next couple of weeks, we'll show you an exclusive interview, the first time they've ever been interviewed together, Boy George and Marilyn. They're fondly known as Doris and Mez.
Next they'll be fighting over the wigs.
Excuse me, but let's have... Gavin, would you mind? But there's been a lot of animosity, especially between the fans, which I think is pretty stupid, between the Duran Duran fans and the Culture Club fans. And I asked George what he thought about it, so let's have a look at what George thought about it. Certain comments come from the group themselves about Culture Club.
What group? Duran? Oh, they hate us. I just think it's... We didn't start Culture Club to sort of go into competition with other bands, you know. Right. We're not a sort of rival banking company.
Say that thing about you were saying about the charts the other day.
Yeah, I think that, you know, like in the 30s and 40s, you know, there weren't any charts. People just bought records. And what's happened now is that everybody's, like, competing with each other. You know, every day it's like Frankie, Culture Club, Duran. I'm bored with it. You know, I make records because I love music. And I don't want to slag anyone off. Right. I'm making it my policy now to not slag any bands off, because I think it's a complete waste of time. You know, I like Duran Duran's music, and I just it's so boring. I mean, I'm above all that. And that sounds like I'm being...
No.
I suppose I'm not making any comment, you know, but I'm just bored with it all. I think that it's really a sort of product of the media, all this sort of petty bitching, and I just don't want to get involved in it.
Well, here to George. I tell you what, the reason he says that is that you surely judge a record by the record itself. And there are some great records around, and I say to the Duran Duran fans, if you like a Culture Club record, then listen to it and go out and buy it or whatever, and appreciate it for what it is. The same to the Culture Club fans, to the Duran Duran fans, and quite frankly, to everyone. Now, I'll just have one little bitch myself. Wham, of course, are just bulleting up the charts in the UK, but unfortunately, George Michael, who is the current heartthrob, tends to be very, very temperamental. I did an interview supposedly with both of them, but and George and Andy came to lunch. But George seems to always worry about whether he's shaved properly or the cold sore here, and he always makes these excuses. The following day after the interview I did with Andy, he walked out on his own film clip, which cost around about $60,000. So I say to George, come on now, shape up, because you are a great singer and you are a very, very good songwriter, and forget about all this image thing. And talking about the English charts, let's have a look at the UK top 5 for this week, and if Wham's number 1, I'm going to die for saying this. At number 5, Phil Oakey, great song from Electric Dreams, Together in Electric Dreams. McCartney, from the new film that's about to come out, Give My Regards to Broad Street, No More Lonely Nights. And we've got an interview with Paul coming up very soon. There it is, Culture Club with the War Song. Great song and a great film clip by Russell. All right, Stevie Wonder has dropped from number 1 position with I Just Called to Say I Love You, Joy. Number 2. And at number 1, Wham with Freedom. Oh, George, I feel dreadful
You've
now.
done it now.
I certainly have. Oh, no. And they're coming out in January. Now, I know all you Wham fans can't wait to get out to the airport and say, you should hear what that Molly said about you. Now, on the Duran Duran side, after George had his say, we'll also be having some comments from Nick and Simon about fans and about Culture Club, etc., etc. So watch out for that. But meanwhile, they're about to release a new single which is just quite sensational. Now, it's one that grows on you. It's not an instant hit, but it is one that I'm sure is going to be a monstrous hit. But wait till you see the film footage on this. It was shot again by Russell Mulcahy, the Australian, and it is just quite sensational. Now, I snuck a bit back from London. I shouldn't be showing you this because it's not released yet, as I say, and this is sort of, and it hasn't even really been edited, but I just had to show you just a little bit of what you're about to see. So here it is, Duran Duran with Wild Boys. Oh.